On my wedding day, my son and daughter-in-law mocked my new husband right in front of 400 guests. They said he wasn't a stepfather. They called him trash. My daughter-in-law's entire family roared with laughter while I felt the world collapsing beneath my feet. I stood up shaking with fury and threw every single one of them out of the reception. It was then that my husband looked at me with a profound calm I had never seen before and said something that changed my life forever. Honey, I'm a billionaire, but let me tell you how I got to this moment because what happened next was something none of them could have ever imagined. Welcome to my channel. I share new life stories here every day, and I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and liked my video. Now, let's jump back into my story. I'm sure you'll love it if you keep listening till the end. It all started 3 hours earlier when Alina, or Ellie as my friends call me at 61 years old, stood in the most magnificent event space I had ever seen. 400 guests filled every seat upholstered in ivory velvet. The tables shimmered with cream silk linens and towering centerpieces of white and gold flowers that looked like they were pulled straight out of a magazine. I had hired the best musicians, the top caterer, all paid for with my life savings. I wanted this day to be flawless because after 15 years of widowhood, of loneliness, of nights spent crying in silence, I had finally found love again. Elias, or Eli Vance, stood beside me at the altar in his modest but immaculate gray suit. His silver hair was neatly combed, his hands calloused from years of honest work. He wasn't rich. He didn't drive a luxury car and lived in a small apartment in a simple neighborhood. But when he looked at me, I felt like the most valuable woman in the universe. That was the only thing that mattered. Then I heard the first loud, mocking, venomous laugh. It came from the third row, exactly where my son Darius was seated next to his wife Tasha. Darius was 38 years old, wearing an Italian suit that cost more than $3,000 and a Rolex watch on his wrist. He had always made it clear to me that money was the most important thing in life. Tasha was worse. That 35-year-old woman in her overly tight blood-red dress with long black painted nails and a superior attitude had made my life hell since the day she married my son. She came from a family that considered themselves upper crust, though we all knew her father had made his fortune through shady business dealings. Look at that. I heard Tasha whisper to her mother.